In 2025, you might see headlines blaring about a recession, and while many will panic and sell their assets for a fraction of their worth, a savvy group of investors will be quietly seizing the moment, and this isn't just a threat to your wealth, it's a golden opportunity to build your fortune. In this video, I'm going to share the exact strategies I'm using to turn market fear into personal profit. Economic forecasts are all over the place, some analysts are dialing back their recession predictions while others are waving red flags like an inverted yield curve, but here's the truth. Economic slowdowns are a normal part of the cycle. Whether we face a full-blown recession or just a period of sluggish growth, the principles for building wealth remain unchanged. Wealth doesn't vanish during downturns, it shifts from the impatient to the patient, from those who react emotionally to those who act strategically. Today, I'll give you the playbook to ensure you're on the right side of that wealth transfer. Before we get into what you should do, let's talk about what you shouldn't do. The average person's financial plan during a recession is driven by one thing: fear. And that fear leads to three major mistakes that almost guarantee they'll end up poorer while the wealthy get richer. First up is panic selling. You've seen it happen. The market drops 10%, doom and gloom headlines flood the news, and suddenly everyone you know is rushing to sell their stock. They think they're being safe by converting their investments to cash, promising to jump back in when things calm down. But as Warren Buffett wisely pointed out, this is exactly the wrong move. He famously said that the time to be greedy is when others are fearful. Those who sell in panic lock in their losses and miss out on the recovery. This leads us to the second mistake: trying to time the market. This is the siren call of amateur investors. They sell near the bottom, convinced they've dodged a bullet, then sit in cash waiting for the perfect moment to re-enter. The catch is the market's best days often follow its worst. Missing just a few of those recovery days can seriously hurt your long-term returns. Research shows that successfully timing the market is nearly impossible. Even Buffett admits he has no clue what the market will do on any given day. Instead of trying to be a psychic, successful investors focus on timing the market, not timing the market. Third mistake is listening to the wrong voices. During a recession, the financial entertainment industry goes into overdrive. You'll see gurus on TV and social media predicting the end of the world one minute and selling you a secret system to get rich overnight the next. They thrive on your fear and uncertainty. The truth is, the foundational principle of building wealth doesn't change just because the economy is shaky. The proven path is disciplined, consistent, and, let's be honest, a bit boring. It's not about finding a magic bullet, it's about sticking to a solid strategy when everyone else is losing their heads. Remember this simple acronym that captures the cycle of failure for most and opportunity for us. POOP. Panic leads to overselling, which leads to opportunity and finally to profits. While everyone else is caught in the panic and overselling phase, we're going to focus on the opportunity and the profits. Now let's get to the good stuff. This isn't just theory. It's a step-by-step blueprint I'm personally using to position my portfolio for the years ahead. But before you invest a single dollar, you need to play defense. Cash isn't just sitting there useless. In a recession, it's a power to protect you from having to sell your investments at the worst possible time to cover unexpected expenses. And it's the weapon you'll use to seize opportunities when they arise. Start by building an emergency fund of at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. Keep this money in a high yield saving account where it's safe and easily accessible. Trim unnecessary expenses and sell off things you don't need. As Buffett wisely noted, if you buy things you don't need, soon you will have to sell things you need. In a recession, the person with liquidity is king. While others are forced to liquidate their assets to survive, you'll be ready to buy. And this is the foundation of your entire wealth building strategy. Don't skip this step. Think of a recession as a Black Friday sale for the stock market. High quality assets get marked down not because they are suddenly worthless, but because of widespread irrational fear. So what's on our shopping list? We start with the defensive sector, industries that provide goods and service people need regardless of the economic climate. First up is, healthcare. People get sick and need medicine whether the economy is booming or busting. This inelastic demand make healthcare companies incredibly resilient. Next we have the consumer staples, the everyday products you find in your pantry and bathroom. Food and drinks, soap, toothpaste. Companies like Procter & Gamble or Pepsi Company have strong brands that people trust, providing them with a steady revenue stream. Then there are utilities. People still need to turn on the lights, heat their homes, and use water. Utility companies often provide stable cash flows and reliable dividend, making them a cornerstone of a defensive portfolio. Finally, don't overlook discounted retailers. When money gets tight, consumers become more budget conscious, and stores like Walmart and Dollar General often see an uptick in traffic. By focusing on these sectors, you're not just speculating, you're investing in the fundamental needs of society. And step 3 is to focus on indestructible companies. Not all stocks are created equal, even within the right sectors. During a downturn, the market separates the wheat from the chaff. Your job is to zero in on blue chip stocks, large financially stable companies with a proven history of weathering economic storms. So what makes a company indestructible? Look for these key traits. First is a strong balance sheet with low debt. Companies drowning in debt are fragile. Those with cash reserves are flexible. Second Second is positive and reliable earnings. You want businesses that consistently make a profit. Third is a competitive advantage, often called a moat. This could be a powerful brand like Coca-Cola, a massive distribution network, or a proprietary technology that competitors can't replicate. And let's not forget about dividends. A history of consistent paying and increasing dividend is a strong signal of financial health and management discipline. During a recession, these dividend payments can provide a steady stream of income to cushion your portfolio, or even better, to reinvest and buy more shares at discounted prices. This is how you compound your way to wealth. Look for companies with a long track record of dividend payments. It shows a commitment to rewarding shareholders through thick and thin. And if you're finding this playbook helpful so far, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that I'm delivering real actionable strategies, and it helps more people discover this guide and prepare for what's ahead. Picking individual stocks can be time consuming and requires a lot of research. For many, its simpler and safer approach is to use exchange traded funds, or ETFs. Think of ETF as a basket that holds dozens or even hundreds of different stocks. Instead of trying to pick the single best healthcare stock, you can buy a healthcare sector ETF and instantly own a piece of all the major players. The same goes for consumer staples, XLP, and utilities, XLU. This strategy gives you instant diversification within those defensive sectors we talked about, significantly reducing your risk compared to owning just a few individual companies. Even better, consider a broad market index fund like one that tracks the S&P 500. This is a favorite recommendation of Warren Buffett for a reason. By buying an S&P 500 index fund, you're betting on the long-term success of the 500 largest companies in America. History shows that despite numerous recessions, wars, and crises, the US stock market has always recovered and trended upward over the long term. It's the simplest, most efficient way to buy American and participate in the inevitable recovery. And in the investing world, stocks get all the glory. They're exciting. Bonds, on the other hand, are often boring. But during a recession, boring is beautiful. High quality government bonds, especially US treasury bonds, are considered some of the safest investments out there. And here's why they're a crucial part of a recession playbook. When the stock market gets shaky and investors start to pull panic, they often pull their money out of the stocks and rush into safety of bonds. This is known as the flight to safety. This increased demand can drive up the value of your bonds, offsetting some of the losses in your stock portfolio. They act as a stabilizer, smoothing out the terrifying ups and downs and helping you stay on the course without panicking. You don't need to complicate things. Investing in a simple bond ETF that holds US treasury bonds is an easy way to add this layer of protection to your portfolio. It's about building a resilient portfolio that doesn't just aim for growth but also prioritize capital preservation when markets are shaky. And this might be the single most important strategy for turning a recession into a wealth building opportunity. It's called dollar cost averaging, DCA. You've heard it, and it's incredibly straightforward. It means investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, say $500 a month, no matter what the market is doing. Here's the magic. When the market is down and stock prices are low, your fixed dollar amount buys more shares. When the market recovers and prices are high, the same dollar amount buys fewer shares. Over time, this strategy lowers your average cost per share, allowing you to accumulate assets at a discount during the downturn. The real power of DCA is that it takes emotion out of the equation. You're not trying to time the market or guess the bottom, you're simply following a disciplined automated plan. If you have a 401k at work, you're already doing this with every paycheck. The key is to stick with it, especially when it feels scary. Continuing to invest when markets are in the red is exactly how you set yourself up for massive gains during the recovery. It's a strategy that rewards consistency and discipline over luck and guesswork. But just as important as knowing what to buy is knowing what to avoid. Recessions can be brutal for certain types of businesses and investments. Steer clear of high-risk cyclical sectors. These industries thrive when the economy is strong and people have disposable income, but they get crushed when times are tough. This includes luxury goods, expensive travel and leisure, high-end restaurants, and even some parts of the tech sector that rely on business expansion. Also, be cautious of speculative and unprofitable companies. In a bull market, companies with a cool story but no profits can see their stock prices soar. But when a recession hits and capital dries up, these are often the first to fail. Stick to companies with proven business models and real earnings. And finally, avoid over-leveraging. Using debt to invest can amplify your gains in a rising market, but it can wipe you out in a downturn. When your investment fall in value but your debt payments remain, you could be forced into a fire sale of your assets at the worst possible time. Remember, the goal is to be the buyer during a recession, not the forced seller. Let's wrap this all up. A recession isn't a financial apocalypse. It's a predictable cyclical event that creates a massive transfer of wealth. Most people driven by fear will panic, sell their assets at a loss and retreat to the sidelines. They will end up losing the side of that wealth transfer, but now you have the playbook of the wealthy. You understand that the key isn't to avoid the storm but to prepare for the rain. You know to build your cash fortress first. You have a shopping list of the defensive sectors and indestructible blue chip companies. You know how to use ETFs for simple diversification and bonds for stability. And most importantly, you have the most powerful tool for turning fear into fortune, a disciplined strategy of dollar cost averaging. The central theme of this: wealth doesn't disappear during a recession, it just moves. The strategies we've covered today are designed to ensure it moves toward you. This is the moment where the fortunes are made, not in the booming, easy years, but in the challenging, uncertain ones. You now have the knowledge. The only thing left is to have the discipline to execute the plan. If you're ready to take control of your financial future, make sure to subscribe and turn on notification, because we'll be sharing more deep dives into these strategies in the coming weeks. And I want to hear from you in the comments below. Tell me which of these 7 steps you're going to start implementing first. Let's build this community of prepared, smart investors together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.